Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. Just watched that Liverpool Newcastle match. What a great game! This is why we love the sport, isn't it? I mean, it was watched it with a couple of my cousins here, both Liverpool supporters. There was a lot of slagging off going on. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. What a great game, and it certainly put me through the FPL emotional ringer. What you see on the screen there is was my rank with about 1 minute to go, and thinking, I've nearly got away with this. I've nearly got away with this. I've nearly got. Of course, there it is. You know what? I can't begrudge that young lad, a 16-year-old, finished like that in the last minute of a massive game like that. You can't begrudge him it. And at least it was only an assist to Salah. So probably dodged a little, given the week I've had, game week I've had, probably dodged a bit of an FPL bullet there. Can't really complain because somehow, despite everything, I have at least, let's get rid of this, managed to finish on a greenish arrow. You know what? I'll absolutely take that. I'll absolutely take that. My big problem at the moment, both the last two game weeks has been no captain's returns. In fact, in my team this week that's just gone, I actually had, I often say, if you have 5 or 6 players return, if you get a captain's return, you're going to hit that 70 points, which is what I aim for. 8 players technically return this week. 8. And to finish on a low score like that, normally you have 8 players return. You're thinking, I'm going to be in the 80s or 90s. Finish on that with 8 players returning is literally ridiculous. But that's the pain of not having something out of your captain. Technically it's 7 players return because Bruno, really that 2 points is actually just the two defensive, the DEFCON points. So 7 players return, technically maybe 8, I don't know. It's a green arrow. You know what? At this stage of the season, given the volatility and the swings and the ridiculous scores, ranging from the 25s to the hundreds that you're seeing out there, I said before the season started, people said, "Oh yeah, it's all template. It's all template." It ain't template at the moment, and I said that before the season. It's going to be a really interesting spread. It's going to take a while for this to settle down before a true template is formed, and that's the importance, I think, of trying to find that template early. It's not really becoming any clearer at the moment. And as I said earlier today in one of my videos, because of that lack of a clear-cut captain. And Salah is not firing. He really isn't. I know he got a goal in the last game. I know he got an assist this one. It's not that, 1, 2 goal returns, putting a reliable captain's armband on him. And similarly with Haaland at the moment. Will that change? Is this going to be a very, very low-scoring season, FPL season? We don't know yet. Way too early to call it. But yeah, that's it. That game week's done. It's like a green arrow. I'll absolutely take it. If I can get 10 of those in a row, I'd be delighted because then I'd be absolutely cranking. But I am averaging 63 at the moment, so really dropped away from that 70-point average. So I need to recover that. Is this team going out next week going to recover it? I don't think so. You never know. Just to bring it up there, hopefully that's reasonably visible for you guys. Give me a sec. Yeah, just run through it again, just sort of briefly. So I have done the transfer. I have brought Cunha in. That, interestingly, as I say at the moment, so he's only scored those 2 points. Obviously, it's a one match play because it is likely that I could wildcard here. I am going to try to get to here before I wildcard, but it is likely that it will happen in the international break. The Cunha transfer in for Saka does free up 2.5 million. So that does give me maybe an option to maybe upgrade Fulkrug, who is really just bench fodder. I mean, he's about as, he's useless. But we could bring Fulkrug up maybe to a Mateta, who I think has got a really good fixture in game week 4. We'll talk about that after game week 3, but there's an international break to get through and so much can happen in that, and maybe I do end up having to wildcard. Don't know yet. But in terms of the team for game week 3, it doesn't look awfully bad. As I say, Cunha's in there. I could have brought in players with a higher average to push these up. Incredible sort of, that's 57. That this exact 11 going out in game week 1 would have brought exactly 57. And it's exactly the same for game week 2. So the prediction is 57, I guess, although the numbers don't mean a lot at the moment until we actually, get that 4, 5, 6 game weeks of data. So I'm going to predict 57, but it could crank towards the 70 if I get the captain's return. We'll see. And I think the captaincy armband will be on Cunha. Would it be insane to triple captain him? Now, tell you why. He's due a goal. He's due a goal or two. Cunha very rarely goes 2 or 3 games in a row without bagging a goal or two. It's Burnley at home, and Cunha does look sharp. And I really could do with a little points boost just to up my averages. But if he doesn't return, that's a hell of a waste of a chip. If it comes in, it's a hell of a differential as well. That's the only decision. That effectively is the team going out. I am going to start Palmer unless I get word that he is definitively out. And I would start him probably ahead of Wirtz, I think. So I will actually start Palmer just in case he is actually okay. But we might get news that he's definitively out. We might get news in the presses that he's actually in and he's fit to play. We'll find that out. But I'll start him if we don't get definitive news. I'll actually start him ahead of Wirtz because Palmer's either going to play or he's not going to play. And if he doesn't play, then Wirtz will actually come in. And that does make this team look a little bit stronger, I think, a little bit stronger. And Palmer's obviously got a pretty decent fixture there against Fulham. And he was due to start on the right in that last game. So that would be really good if he was fit. But that's kind of it, guys. That's really it. So yeah, just a little brief final wash up on game week 2 as we move into game week 3, and hopefully I can get that 70. Need to see those averages coming up a bit, but it's still not a disaster at the moment. I'm sort of about the 1 million rank. Not really that far off, given it's early in the season, that far off the 70 average. And if we can get a decent-ish sort of game week in 3, 4 is looking pretty good. So I will try and avoid the wild card, even though it's the international break if I can. But that's a decision for another day. Take care, have fun, play your own game, don't panic. I will see you on Wednesday for Bishop Brennan Cup time. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.